Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm here and this is my 3-ingredient meals for busy weekends. These are super simple, minimal, easy, only 3 ingredients in most of them except for the pasta salad that has 4, but it is worth it. I have a lot of people always saying they don't know what to make or how to make it or that they are bad at cooking and all that. These recipes are perfect because they're just so incredibly simple. You can't mess them up. They taste great and like you said, they're quick and easy. So the first one we're going to make tonight is an eggplant parmesan soup. Now if you've watched me before, you know I love eggplants. You can't go wrong with eggplant. So I already have an eggplant parmesan recipe. This is my third time making it, and it's really good. But I want something a little bit different, so this is what I came up with. It's super simple. All I did was chop up an onion, fry it off in a little olive oil. Then I added about a tablespoon of tomato paste, fry that off for a little bit more and then add your eggplant. Now I used about half of what I had already cooked. I didn't want to cook another whole eggplant. That's way too many carbs and not enough protein, so I just used half of it. We're gonna add some garlic, salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, and we're just gonna fry this off till the eggplant gets nice and tender. Once that's done, we're gonna transfer it over to our blender. We're gonna blend it up until it's nice and smooth. If you don't have a blender that will fit your soup, you can always take it to a separate bowl and use an immersion blender. I found that sometimes when you blend it in the actual pot that it doesn't get as smooth, so it's always better to do it in a separate bowl or a separate container. I prefer the immersion blender because it's faster, it's quicker, you don't have to clean another dish and it's just easier to do. So once it's nice and smooth, we are gone not transfer it back into the pot and now we are just gone not add some Parmesan cheese. I usually add a lot of Parmesan cheese, probably like 4 ounces, maybe even a little bit more. Just mix that around until it's melted and then it's ready to serve. It's that simple, super delicious, creamy, garlicky. It tastes amazing and I like to serve mine with a little bit of sausage on top. But if you're vegetarian or you don't eat meat, you definitely don't need it. The flavors are all there. It's super rich, filling, comforting, perfect for a cool night. The second meal we're going to make tonight is a lemon chicken piccata. Now normally this recipe is a lot more ingredients. It's pretty involved. It's a lot of steps. A lot of work, but I found a way to simplify it down to almost nothing and it tastes just as good. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a pound of chicken cutlets, slice them in half so you get 2 pieces. Then you're going to put them between 2 pieces of plastic wrap. You're going to pound them out flat. You could also use regular parchment paper. I just have plastic wrap on hand, so I use that. Then you're gonna add a couple tablespoons of flour, some salt and pepper, and you're just going to pound that in until it's nicely coated. Once it's coated, you're gonna set it off to the side. Then you're gonna heat up a little butter and olive oil in a pan. Once it's golden brown, you're gonna remove that from the pan, set it on a plate, tent it with foil. Now for the sauce, you're gonna add a couple tablespoons of butter, a couple tablespoons of flour, same kind that you used earlier, and you are just gonna mix that around and you are just gonna fry that off on low heat for a few minutes. I like to use a whisk to incorporate everything and just make sure there's no lumps. Once it's nice and smooth, you're gonna slowly start adding in about a cup and a half of chicken broth. Continue to whisk it and you are just gonna bring this to a boil, and then once it starts boiling, you're gonna reduce the heat down to a simmer. Now we're gonna add our lemon juice, about a quarter cup of lemon juice and some salt and pepper. Again, you could add a little bit of Italian seasoning if you want, and you are just gonna simmer this for a few minutes till it thickens. Once it's coated, you're gonna serve it up, and again, you could serve this with some sausage. You could serve it with some pasta. I like to keep it really simple. I like to just serve it with some cauliflower rice. It's a complete meal. It's really filling. It's great. It's really flavorful, and it's very, very easy to make. Now the last meal we're gonna make tonight is my pasta salad. I know I said 3 ingredients, but there's 4 and it's worth it, I promise. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab some small pasta shells or rotini. I usually use rotini. This time I use shells. You're gonna cook those according to the package directions. Now while that's cooking, you are gonna cube up some ham and you are gonna fry that off in a little bit of olive oil. Once the ham is nicely browned and crispy, you're going to remove that from the pan, set it off to the side, and now you're going to add a tablespoon of butter. Once that's melted, you're going to add about a 1/4 cup of unseasoned rice vinegar. I know this sounds strange, but the acidity from the vinegar really complements the saltiness of the ham and it just makes it a really awesome flavor combination. Now once the pasta is fully cooked, you're going to drain it and then you're going to add it into the pan. Now you're going to add some salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. I also added a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, a pinch of red pepper flakes, and I mixed it all together. Now you're going to serve it warm. This is absolutely delicious. It is so filling. It's got protein from the ham, carbs from the pasta, fat from the olive oil and the butter. It's a complete meal. It is wonderful and it is so easy to make. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some ideas for some easy dinners to make during the week when you don't have a lot of time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you next time. Bye.